Good morning, and once again I want to welcome each of you to another annual meeting of Otero County Electric Cooperative, especially this year as we celebrate our 80th anniversary. For those of you who may not know me, I am Mario Romero, and I have served as general manager of your co-op for the last 5 years. I'd like to start off my report this year with the fundamental reason Otero County Electric Cooperative and hundreds of other co-ops were created around 80 years ago: to provide safe, reliable, and affordable electric service to our members. First, I'd like to address reliability and what we are doing to make sure the power we have come to rely on is there when we need it. As many of you know, after years of working on right-of-ways, we are replacing the old power line feeding Sunspot and Tiburon, which should dramatically improve reliability for the people in those areas. We are also rebuilding the entire electric system in Carrizozo and replacing aging and often failing underground cable in Alto Village. We have replaced hundreds of poles over the last year throughout our system, which were identified through our pole testing program. And we have also implemented a more aggressive vegetation management policy to again improve reliability and mitigate fire danger. Next, I'd like to address affordability. Our board and staff do an excellent job working to keep member rates as low as possible by controlling costs where we can, while always balancing the need to have properly trained and experienced staff to maintain the system and keep up reliability. Approximately half of our total expenses are wholesale power costs. Tri-State, who you will hear from later in the meeting, has had no increases in recent years and project several more years without a rate increase. In addition, we have been able to further reduce wholesale power costs through the installation of the Carrizozo solar facility, which has saved our members an average of $14,000 per month since it was installed. We have also taken advantage of record low interest rates in recent years. We competitively bid construction projects to make sure we are getting the best deal, and we control labor costs wherever possible. However, through our budgeting and financial forecasting process, we have identified a likely need for a rate adjustment in 2020, primarily due to expenses related to the previously mentioned system improvements needed to improve reliability. Finally, and most importantly, I'd like to discuss safety. Our number one priority is the safety of our members, the public, and especially of our employees. I am proud to report that OCEC has received some national recognition for what we are doing. In 2018, the National Rural Electric Cooperative Association introduced the Commitment to Zero Contacts initiative. The goal of the program is to eliminate all electric contacts by our line workers. OCEC was the first in New Mexico to make this commitment. Our operations manager, Ray Rush, spoke at the national meeting about OCEC's implementation and success with the program. In addition, NRECA chose OCEC as one of 3 co-ops in the country to feature as promotion for this program. I'd like to share their video with you now. We just had a couple of near misses that could have been serious injuries or fatalities. So I just thought the Commitment to Zero Contacts was a perfect opportunity for us to implement a program that really boiled things down and simplified 4 life-saving rules that would keep our guys safe. That's kind of how it all started. If we're not progressing, if we're not moving forward, if we're not actively making safety a priority and constantly making changes and looking at it, then we're taking a step backwards.
I've been with Otero County Electric Co-op 25 years. And the reason I've been here this long, the main reason, because we're a family. This commitment to zero contacts is really taking it back to our family. It's a commitment that we will be home tonight. We will be home after we restore power. You know, having a piece of paper, it's not a contract. It's a commitment to the family. It's individual commitment. They take this commitment to their home, whether they post it on their kitchen table, you know, for all the kids to see them sign it. Then they put it in the living room wall, or by their door they exit every morning.
We all want to be productive and get things done. And this just slows us down and even brings us to a stop for a little bit to just give us time to look at what we're doing and eliminate those bad days and those regrets where we're looking back and saying, man, we did this wrong.
Zero Contact Initiative has really been something good for our safety culture, where we can have that bumper sticker or that emblem on their hats or the entrances and exits of their service centers, something that they can see every day to remind them to stop and focus.
Along with the commitment to zero contacts, we took the SAFE app, and it gives us a level of comfort that we know that our guys are doing job briefings on each and every job, whether it's an outage, whether it's construction, or whether it's maintenance.
We'll check our gloves. We're not going to have any cover, you're going to cover up there, but not going to have any blankets or anything, so that meets approval. What I noticed the most is that they've slowed down a little bit and looked at jobs a little closer, instead of just everybody knowing what they're going to do and not really talking about it, and just everybody jumps out and goes to work. Now they stop, they go through the SAFE app, tell who's doing what, you're doing this, and it makes them slow down and think about what's happening.
Trenching and excavation hazards, we're just going to go back in the same hole. We get that pole pulled out. We'll get the winch line on it, and if it pulls easy, pull it. If it don't, we'll hook up our pulling cylinder.
Years ago, we did not have this opportunity to make a commitment like this. And so on a daily basis, you went to work and you just did your job and went home, trying to do it as safe as you could. We had our tailboard discussions, but generally, that's basically it. We did not hold ourselves to a higher standard.
I tell the guys at all of our safety meetings that my success is going to, in my mind, is going to be whether or not they go home safe to their families. All the other things are secondary to that, and if that doesn't happen, I'm not going to consider my tenure as CEO a success. I hope you enjoyed the video and are as proud of our employees and their commitment to safety as I am. Getting to the end of this year's report, I'd like to take a brief moment to tell you a little more about me so you have a better feel for the person running your co-op. Before a co-op manager or engineer, I think of myself as a family man. I've been married to my wonderful wife, Noelle, for the last 14 years. Our two oldest kids will both be in middle school this year here in Cloudcroft, and our youngest is at the wonderful age of 3. I grew up in Tularosa, received my bachelor's degree at New Mexico State in Las Cruces, and started here at the co-op as an electrical engineering intern my senior year back in 2002. My parents, who still live in Tularosa today, always stressed hard work, honesty, integrity, doing what's right, and caring about people. A similar story could be told about most of the employees and trustees here at Otero County Electric. Most of us either grew up in this area or have lived here for decades. We are active members of the community, care about people, and do our best to serve you, many of whom are friends and neighbors. This has been the case throughout our 80-year history. This co-op was formed by hardworking, local community members to help bring safe, reliable, and affordable electricity to our rural towns and ranches. Back then, it was about the simplest things, starting with lights, refrigerators, washing machines, vacuum cleaners, and other common household appliances we often take for granted. As time went on, we began to rely on electricity for heating and cooling our homes. Eventually, electricity powered many of the things we can't live without today, like television, computers, cell phones, video games, and Facebook. Now and going into the future, we will be entering a new era of electrification as we transition to electric vehicles, which are becoming more affordable and as a result, much more common. Throughout our 80 years, one thing has not changed: Otero County Electric Cooperative's commitment to providing safe, affordable, and reliable electricity. Always feel free to contact me if you have a question or concern. Thank you again for coming. Enjoy the rest of the meeting and be safe as you return home today.